Attorney General has also written to me today confirming that in the light of the joint response from the Presidents of the European Council and Commission, these conclusions would have legal force in international law. That is not new either. Now I'm going to take the Attorney General at his word. Because he said in his Mail on Sunday interview, and I quote, "I will not change my opinion unless I'm sure there is no legal risk of us being indefinitely detained in the backstop." I'm going to be fair to the Attorney General. He hasn't changed his opinion. And let us read his advice to this House at paragraph 19. The legal risk remains unchanged. That if through no demonstrable failure of either party, but simply because of intractable differences, that situation does arise, the United Kingdom would have, at least while the fundamental circumstances remain the same, no internationally lawful means of exiting the protocol's arrangement save by agreement. And I do say to the Attorney General, paragraphs 15 to 19 of his advice constitute 7 sentences that destroy the government's strategy of recent weeks, that sink the government's case, that it had any chance of securing a right under international law to unilaterally exit the protocol's arrangements. We've gone, Mr. Speaker, from having a nothing has changed Prime Minister to having a nothing has changed Attorney General. And Mr. Speaker, in fairness to him, it isn't just his view. It's the view of a number of other respected lawyers, including Professor Philippe Sands, Professor Sir Edward David, and the government's own former counter-terror watchdog, now Lord Anderson QC. Because the Attorney General knows that speaking about reasonable endeavours and bad faith is one thing. But he can confirm the reality, which is that the new documents do nothing about the situation when the talks with the EU are at a stalemate, not because of bad faith, but simply because both sides can't reach an agreement. Proving bad faith is extraordinarily difficult, and the Attorney General points that out in paragraph 16 of his own advice. The strongest remedy in this withdrawal agreement, even with this document, remains a temporary suspension. And indeed, look at his own legal advice to see that at paragraph 9. It speaks of suspension of all or parts of the protocol, including the backstop, until there is satisfactory compliance. Mr. Speaker, trade talks can break down for a variety of reasons. For two parties to act on the basis of their own interests is not bad faith, and the Attorney General knows it. In these circumstances, despite any assurances about the temporary nature of the backstop, the reality is that it can endure indefinitely. 92 days after the Prime Minister abandoned the first meaningful vote, in this Attorney General's view, the legal risk remains unchanged. Mr. Speaker, what the Attorney General was asked to do, and what the Prime Minister promised in this House on the 29th of January, to change the text of the withdrawal agreement, simply isn't possible. He's a lawyer, he isn't a magician. Doesn't this whole episode of recent weeks show that when national leadership is required, this Prime Minister, as always, puts party before country?
Attorney General! I might get to hear the Attorney General's responses to them. That's all right. Just by the adverts.
About my opinion, well, he knows that my opinion is that there is no ultimate unilateral right out of this arrangement. The risk of that continues. But the question is whether it is a likelihood, politically. I would say, Mr. Speaker, that one thing we didn't hear from the Honourable Gentleman is what the Labour Party's position was on the backstop. Do they accept the backstop? Do they think it's a good thing? And if they think it's a good thing, why on earth are they criticising it? Or is it just the usual political opportunism? What expects to hear from the party? Let me say to the Honourable Gentleman, he says to me there's nothing new in this agreement. It is not so. And some of the authorities that he has quoted are saying it this morning. There are material new obligations. For example, in relation to alternative arrangements, there is a heavy emphasis now upon a swift and expedited track to negotiate them. And it would be unconscionable if, having made that emphasis, having said that time was of the essence, the European Union simply refused to consider or adopt policy of the Union, and what this does is make significant reductions in that risk, Mr. Speaker. So I say to the honourable gentleman, it would be a good thing if we could hear from the Labour Party just occasionally. More than just political shenanigans, but some sincere engagement with the real issues that this withdrawal agreement now raises. The question now, Mr. Speaker, is do we assume our responsibilities as a House and allow not only this country, yearning as it is, for us to move on, but the entire continent of Europe? And to do that, Mr. Speaker, the time has come now to vote for this deal.
That's astonishing, actually. My earlier words for Geoffrey Cox, the Attorney General, notwithstanding. That was the Attorney General, Geoffrey Cox, responding to questions from the Shadow Attorney General. But he accused the Labour front bench, and you know I'm no admirer of the front bench, of engaging in political opportunism, almost in the same breath as issuing what surely is the only and first time in history that an Attorney General has said in the Parliament, this is not about the law. So he's essentially urging his colleagues to vote for Theresa May's majority for wholly political reasons, having explained at some length that legally, the thing that they all demanded, repeatedly, hasn't actually happened. That's astonishing. And he was the one that kind of come away with slightly warm feelings about it, accusing the other side of political opportunism after issuing a phrase from the mouth of an Attorney General and a senior lawyer in the land. This is not about the law. What is it about? Opportunity.
Coming up at 1 on LBC, Sheila Fogarty.
The only words that matter in the Attorney General's legal advice on the backstop are the legal risk remains unchanged. Oh dear, the M's going to lose again, isn't she?
Sheila Fogarty on LBC. Why should you stick with Sky if they stick up your broadband price mid-contract? The answer's easy. You shouldn't. That's why at TalkTalk we're bringing you Britain's lowest fixed-price fibre. Switch today and get our award-winning fibre for just £19.95 a month for 18 months, with no mid-contract price rises. Plus, we'll give you our powerful Wi-Fi with our strongest signal yet. These are just some of the reasons whether you switch your most popular broadband provider for 2019. So hurry, switch today for just £19.95 a month for 18 months with no setup fee. Offer ends 14th of March. Search TalkTalk Fibre. TalkTalk for everyone. T's and C's apply.
So much confusion. This deal, that deal. Why can't we just be simple? That seemed like a puzzle. Being ripped off. Confused.com guaranteed the future renewal, helping you rise above the clamor of comparison sites. It's that easy. Feature renewal code guarantee, or you get the difference in an extra £20. Don't be confused. Be confused.com. Full T's and C's online. Single annual policies only.
To celebrate Paddy Power's whopping day one offer at Cheltenham, money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second, third or fourth. We're naming the offer after the specialists in finishing second, third or fourth. That's right, it's the Tottenham Hotspur Cheltenham Day 1 Money Back Special. Yes, it's money back as a free bet if your horse finishes second, third or fourth on day 1 at Cheltenham. This offer applies to all races all day long. Paddy Power, enough of the nonsense. Max free bet £10 per customer per race, valid for 7 days. When a win part of each race, singles, pre-race only, not available in shops. Minimum 7 runners, 18 plus per gambler.
You know your disco from your calypso, from your... But do you know your pension options? PensionWise is a service set up by the government to provide free, impartial guidance about your pension pot. If you're over 50, call 0800 144 8944 to book your free telephone or face-to-face appointment. PensionWise, get to know your options.
Oh, hi. Is it true if I join Vitality I get de facto 5-star rated cover, can speak to a GP 24/7, get rewarded for staying active with things like Starbucks coffee, get a little sausage dog to live with me, and you can beat my current premium by up to 10%?
Absolutely. Expect one of those.
It's the dog, isn't it?
Time to review your health insurance. Just search Vitality Health. Vitality, positively different. Minimum monthly premiums, terms and conditions apply.
Oh, I want one new box of Britain editions.
Yes. What comes as standard?
Standard? Well, alloy wheels, sat nav, aircon, DAB radio, Bluetooth, smart
retailer now. Vauxhall, British brand since 1903. Participating retailers only. Limited units while stocks last.
James O'Brien on NBC. Call 0345
Messages from online. Can you get James to finish the show with one of his roundups of everything that's gone on around Gun Private? No. I've told you a million times, once 12:30 has passed, I'm on the downward slope. I'm tired. I only drink so much green tea in the course of a 3-hour programme, and I'll never drink enough to keep my brain buzzing at the level it's buzzing at 10 o'clock in the morning as 1 o'clock approaches. But I will have a go because I love you. So, here is the weirdest thing. Let's begin with the weirdest thing about today. The weirdest thing is that today began with people who campaigned to leave the European Union on the grounds that unelected experts and foreign judges have far too much influence over the United Kingdom. In my view, a ludicrous argument, but we can all agree that was an argument you heard ad infinitum, ad infinitum et ad nauseam, as Mr. £7 million might say. So, that's how it began. People who had spent the referendum campaign telling us that we needed to leave the European Union in order to escape the clutches of unelected experts and foreign judges began today by telling us that we should vote for Theresa May's withdrawal agreement because hopefully an unelected expert would tell us to do so, and we shouldn't worry that it would put the future of the United Kingdom's relationship with the European Union in the hands of foreign judges sitting in supranational courts. So that was the point at which he thought it can't get any madder than this. And then, inevitably, it did. Because the Attorney General delivered fairly cogent advice, actually delivered it as we were speaking live to a professor of EU law at Liverpool University who had effectively preempted what he felt the Attorney General would be compelled to report. And the Attorney General was compelled to report by reality that nothing really had changed in the context of us not being able to leave the backstop unless we came up with a solution to the problems that the backstop was designed by us to solve. Things got madder when he stood up in the House of Commons and urged people to vote for the withdrawal agreement anyway. That was him being a politician. The sight of him wearing both of those hats was troubling, actually. So the lawyer says, yeah. The politician says, to paraphrase. But, and I refer once again to the fact that I've been on air now for 2 hours and 50 minutes speaking about nothing else. So if I drop a boo-boo now, be gentle with me. I think we're all back to that one thing that has been underpinning the whole soil mess since the very beginning. By the very beginning, I mean ever since people started reading Boris Johnson's live sparks in Brussels in the Daily Telegraph, or even perhaps before that, I don't know, I'm too young to remember whether or not people were pretending in the 1970s that everybody hadn't made it absolutely clear that we were entering into a political war rather than merely commercial. You go right back to the beginning. What has underpinned everything? This portrayal of the European Union as an enemy of our interests, as an institution that would deliberately seek to hurt and or damage us for no reason other than the pleasure of hurting and or damaging us.